you are. Good morning. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Good morning. I don't understand, Donnie. The ground is wet again.
I know that, Augustine.
But it's not sprinkling right now.
Why?
All the kitties are here. I'm having a morning. But all the kitties are hearing good, so. Guys. Hi. There was a little bit of leftover food from last night, which is really odd, so they're not acting as hungry as usual. Plus it's early. We all think it's early, right, Morris? Right, Morris? We all think it's early. Hi. Good boy. Yeah. Hi, Panther. Hi, I'm sliding my shoes on. I'm getting ready. Let me get the door unlocked. I love it when they're happy to see me. Hi. Hello. Hi, good morning. It looks cloudy up high today. Well, the local weather guy says whether or not we make it to 85 on Thursday just depends on how much cloud cover we have. We could have enough cloud cover now to keep us from breaking that record high. We'll see. I'm in no rush to break record highs in February. I'm not upset that it's warm, but yeah, we don't need 85, not really. It's a good thing you have privileges to come up and eat by tucks. You're the only one, Marty. There's a hidden sun. Yay. We're not late. Probably not early either, but we're not late. I'm moving. God, it feels so rough today. I guess the back to 5:30 just really kicked in this morning. Good morning, Ruby. You getting some water? Good morning. Be a good boy. I'm living with a little bit of condensation on the window this morning because it's not affecting my ability to see, and if I clear it, then Johnny and I will be colder since I still don't have any heat up front. It's, you know, I can make heat in the back, but it doesn't really move to the front super well, so I'm just enjoying being warm right now. The inside temperature is comfortable without a coat, and I don't want to mess that up. There's downtown with changing skies this morning. Ruby says it's 53 out there. I can tell you that because usually at the split back there I get out of autopilot. You know, the FSD beta right now is not showing the temperature, and I usually don't get back into autopilot between here and the school. I just drive through downtown. I was noticing in yesterday's video when I was editing last night that one intersection where the bus was halfway in the middle of my lane over on the right, and it's just so many things for the cars to consider down here that don't have to be considered on highway or interstate driving. Exciting news about 11.3 using brake lights to help smooth stopping of the car in front of you. That was pretty cool. I am excited to try it, at least as long as it's in good shape when we get it. I always want updates, but not at the cost of releasing them before they're truly ready. Well, Johnny got out at 7:33. If he hustles, which I'm sure he is, he won't be late. The roads were plenty dry, you know, even though it had sprinkled at the house. The traffic on the roads, morning traffic, the roads were plenty dry. I doubt it messed up Ruby any, which is good. I thought it would be fun this morning to do a top 5 reasons why I don't want a new Model X. I don't know if there'll be exactly 5, but I certainly do have some reasons why I'm not just jumping and asking to get a new Model X. So, and these are in no particular order, and some of them probably are not what the criteria would be for other people, but they are the criteria for me. First off, I like chrome, and Ruby has some really nice chrome accents. I don't like the new black. You know, our Model Y has the black door handles and the black tires, and I know a lot of people spend a lot of time doing a chrome delete on their Tesla vehicles, time and money. But I love the chrome. You know, my favorite car, if I were going to buy a classic ICE vehicle and convert it to electric, would be a 59 Cadillac. So I really like chrome. I grew up with chrome and I like chrome. I like ruby silver wheels. I just don't want the blacked out. The blacked out look just isn't what I want for my Tesla. So I'll stick with the chrome. Also, vertical screen life. I like to use that sometimes on Twitter. You know, we have a Model Y and I've driven with the landscape mode screens and they're okay. I mean, it's okay, but I really like the integrated portrait mode screen into the dash. I feel like for navigation, I actually have more satellite map on the screen than I do in the landscape mode. There's so much other stuff happening on that screen because there's no driver instrument cluster in the 3 and the Y that I really prefer my vertical screen. Now, I have not driven the new X or S, to be clear, and that screen is bigger than the screen in the 3 and the Y, so maybe I would feel differently, but I just really like the vertical screen. I don't watch a lot of YouTube in the car. When I'm stopped in my car, I'm listening to my Kindle book and I'm playing Pokemon Go. So I'm not usually taking road trips and supercharging long enough to care about watching a YouTube. If I was at a supercharger for a while, I would probably get out and talk to people or take pictures or explore the area or do social media. I probably still wouldn't be on YouTube much. I could see at certain points in my life where that might have been more important, YouTube or Netflix or whatever, but not right now. I like my rainbow glass. I do not want to lose my pretty orange when it gets rained on glass. If I had to replace my windshield, I would be devastated. I like the old glass. There's a lot of people that actually say that on the Facebook posts, that they really are upset they've had to replace their windshield, or they traded in their Tesla and the new ones don't have the pretty rainbow glass anymore. So despite the fact that my windshield has 110,000 plus miles on it now, and it has those, you know, weather, you know, little scratches in it from being older. It's got 2 places where it's had little chips fixed to try to protect it and keep it going. You know, there would be some value in like a brand new, bright, shiny, I can see great out of it windshield. Not trading, not doing that. I almost think if I had to have the windshield replaced, it's like, can we find an X that's got some damage but not to the windshield and grab that one, because I just really like the rainbow windshield. Also, Ruby is kind of a little bit of a rarity in that she has chrome fiber in the interior, which Dawn and I both like and both picked. We were able to do that by buying the premium interior at the time of our purchase. We basically purchased Ruby right before Tesla stopped letting you make too many a la carte changes. So when we bought Ruby, we had to choose the premium interior, we had to choose premium sound, we had to choose to put the trailer hitch on. The only thing we didn't choose was the winter package, and we wish we'd have chosen it. Everything else that was available to choose, we chose. And that included the carbon fiber interior, which we prefer. You know, never gonna put down anybody for their preferences on appearance stuff. That's all subjective, and you drive your car and you like what you like. But, you know, I've got preferences too, and I really like the chrome fiber versus any of the other interiors Tesla offered. So I would lose that because I wouldn't want a plaid X, and I would lose the carbon fiber on the interior, and I don't want to do that. So I know that Derek, on one of the cars that they had, they didn't get the carbon fiber because I guess they didn't choose premium, or it wasn't, or performance. You know, it's usually included with the more expensive vehicles as an option, the performance, or I'm sure now the plaid. But they actually had gotten, I don't remember if it was an S or an X, I think it was an S, and it didn't have the carbon fiber, and they went out on eBay and somebody pulled it off a wrecked car, and they purchased it, and it didn't take them very long at all to install it on their car. So I know it can be swapped out, but who wants to buy a brand new car and then immediately swap out the interior and spend more money on it if you don't have to? So yeah, I don't want to lose the carbon fiber. So I guess most of those points are appearance points. Another thing that's a financial consideration, obviously, is that, you know, based on what a new X would cost, Don and I actually configured it and looked at it the other day, and after the tax break, it's like, just say, this isn't rounding, it's around $110,000, right, for a non-plaid after the tax incentive, if I remember correctly. And I don't know what we would get for Ruby, but let's just be generous and say we got $65,000 for Ruby. That's a lot of change. I mean, that's a lot of difference, and to replace a car that is perfectly working. I know the heater's not working right now, but perfectly working, basically hasn't caused us any maintenance issues, does what I need it to do, and at a time when I'm fixing to come off of driving 100 to 110 miles a day every weekday. I'll be driving less after the end of the school year, although maybe not. You know, trips might average it out. We'll see. We won't know how life's going to be after we get real sleep and are not on the road for school every day until we're there, right? And so obviously it's a financial consideration. And adding on to that point, you know, Ruby has full self-driving beta. And I think it's nice that Tesla's offering the 5K incentive for people that have free supercharging to get them to upgrade. Personally, I heard somebody say, oh, Tesla wants to get rid of all those free supercharging people. I don't think that's why they offered the 5K upgrade. I don't. Because anybody that does any math on how much money they've saved having free supercharging, or what they think the value of that will be, I think they'll find that it saved them a lot less than they think it did. That certainly would be the case for Ruby. Ruby, we haven't added it up, but it would be well under $1,000 in the 5 years we've had Ruby that we've gotten free supercharging. It would be a very small amount. So it does influence our decision whether we take the X with free supercharging or a Y that doesn't have it, now that the Y doesn't have any referral miles anymore. It does influence it. It's a small amount of money. It's not a large amount of money. But the full self-driving really is a factor there. So I told several people in the last week that asked me, because people have asked me over the last year, but in particular in the last week, you know, would I consider upgrading Ruby to a new Model X? Really, in order to get me and Dawn to more seriously consider if we would be willing to trade in Ruby and get an updated X, would be, can we move full self-driving to the new vehicle? And if we can't move full self-driving, and we would be expected to pay $15,000 to get full self-driving again, after helping Tesla build the full self-driving system, and being early adopters and having it on both cars and really being all in on it, no, we would not be willing to do that. Now on the Cybertruck, you know, that's different. That's not a transfer. That would be a third vehicle that we would have, and I certainly want all the vehicles to have all of the same software and driving capabilities. Don may feel differently, but I certainly want full self-driving on the Cybertruck too. And I do believe at the time of deposit, we listed that you can always remove it, but adding it later on for the cost that you went in at, you know, you should always ask for it if you're putting a deposit down on a Tesla, because you can change your mind. they'd really have to offer us like the 5K and move FSD. That would be a true incentive. I really didn't want to have to do the video in 2 clips, but the camera overheated and I had to switch modes to keep on recording. You gotta love the G7X Mark III. Not. Let's see, did I miss anything else? I'm sure there's a couple of options. I guess it would be a nice counter video, the top 5 reasons why I would want to trade my Model X. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Let me give just a moment's pause to see if I missed anything else on the why I don't want to upgrade. I probably have left out something, but not that I can think of right now. I'll just add that I get compliments all the time that Ruby does not possibly look like she could have 100,000 miles on her. Dawn takes such good care in keeping the wheels looking nice and the paint looking good and washing her, and I help with the door jambs and vacuuming the interior and wiping down the glass, and you know, she doesn't look like she's over 5 years old and over 100,000 miles. So I don't look at my car and go, oh, yeah, it's looking kind of old. I need an upgrade now. She still looks great. So if your car still looks great, that's also not a factor in a reason why you would want to upgrade. So anyway, there you have it. The reasons why Dawn and I will not be trading in Ruby and not upgrading to a new Model X anytime soon. But come on, Tesla, with the offer to transfer the full self-driving, and then we can talk. Just had a situation again where we were stopped at the red light back there by the ABC store, that intersection, Marquee Station, Townhomes entranceway. That road leads to it. Anyway, the light turned green, obviously, and the truck in front of me started moving and the car beside me started moving, and Ruby was not moving, and she wasn't moving, and I am in autopilot here, the beta. She wasn't moving because she couldn't see the stoplight for the truck, and I ended up giving her some acceleration to tell her to go. And I mean, yes, in a perfect world, she just waits until the truck is pulled far enough ahead, she sees the lights green, and she moves forward. But in a real world, where the person behind you is about to have a coronary because you haven't moved instantly when it was obvious that the light had turned green, they're going to honk. They're going to be pissed off about full self-driving. They're going to make stupid decisions to try to get around the full self-driving car. Maybe autonomous is the word, but you know, in the future when it really is driving itself, if it were still to display that behavior. And my point is basically that, you know, I don't want you to be led to slaughter by following the vehicle in front and getting hit in the intersection, but if the car on the left or right of you is also moving and the car in front of you and you've waited a certain amount of time, I mean, a human person is going to be pretty trusting there that the lights turned green and they can't see the light, see the physical light either. So I think we're going to have to compromise on that one, where the cars start moving at, you know, 3 miles an hour forward to assuage the level of upset of the person behind us in traffic that wants you to move out of their way. So I continue to see that behavior following. There's a Mach-E airplane gray color, what we would call midnight silver metallic, a close resemblance of it. Anyway, so that behavior continues to be a problem. It continues to be a problem, and she's taking me over here, what she's going to do. She did okay there. The guy behind me, get over, Ruby, get over, get over, get over. I'm letting you do this, but I'm not happy with you, and neither is the guy behind me. Come on, Ruby. Yes, I know it's a yellow arrow, and yes, I see people coming. What are you gonna do, Ruby? You gonna go? Oh, wow, she went. I put my foot on the accelerator. Now see, she's in the wrong lane. So get over, Ruby. I put on the turn signal. I still have my foot on the accelerator. I can't tell you for sure if I'm pressing it or if I was just ready to press it. Normally I cancel navigation so she goes through town. I did not remember to do that because I was running my mouth. So short turn lanes continue to be a problem for full self-driving beta. That's what's going on back there. Even though there was only a couple of cars in the turn lane and she totally could fit in the turn lane, it took her way too long where half of her was out in the through lane of traffic and it was green and the person behind me wanted to go through it. So, you know, they weren't going very fast. I was watching them in the rearview mirror. I knew they weren't going to hit me. That doesn't mean they were happy with me, right? Not that I really care. As you well know, I really don't care what some of these people out here think, but I do care about possibly being hit. And it's not my intention while not caring to also, and I don't know how to say this more nicely, I really don't want to piss off the guy behind me. I may not be trying to please him, but I also don't want to become a target. So there's a little bit of a compromise there. But that turn lane is not particularly long, so it often doesn't hold all the cars, and you're back in what would be considered the fifth lane, the lane in the middle, the no man's land lane. It's not really wrong to get over there, but the car doesn't know how to handle that. So as we've seen in the past, she's tried to turn from the middle lane, going around the cars waiting in the turn lane because, you know, she perceives I've got to make this turn and there's not enough room for me and I'm just going to try to cut in front, which is not what she had to do there, but we've seen that behavior in the past. So we've got to have some improvement on turn lanes that are too full, and when you're going to get in a lane, get over there. Like, she should start getting over sooner so she can dive more deeply and straighten out versus dive close to the end and then be still half of the other lane. There's just so many things she could use to improve on at that particular intersection. So I still put the offer out there for the autopilot team to show up and let's do that intersection. You know, I'm willing to do it 50 times in the day and see, you know, make adjustments and see what happens and teach it. And then let's do the left turn onto 55 on the way to the Greenway Trail. And let's get those, let's manage those better. We need an intensive retraining there. Something tells me that the behavior is not going, uh-oh, here comes a kid. Wow, I did not do anything there. She saw that person and she waited for them when the light turned green. She saw that person. She's in autopilot. I didn't do. Now look, I had my foot over the brake. If she even so much as hinted she was going to move, I was going to full pedal press the brake. I was not going to let that person be in jeopardy. But my goodness, wow, that was totally impressive. I wish I had a picture of the screen. And just to say, I do have both hands on the wheel. I know you guys can see what happened there, but both hands are on the wheel. Totally impressive. That person was all the way at the stoplight on the other side of the road and entered the intersection as the light turned green, and she waited on them. How exciting to see that work so well.
Okay, over under, the trash can's still full.
Well, I will tell you, I didn't remember to look this morning, so I don't know.
Well, I bet it is still full.
I'm going to say it's still full, too.
And the answer is?
We were right. Well, when I see them town boys today, I might be having to go fuss at them. I didn't fuss at them the other day. What day was that? It wasn't yesterday.
Monday. They were working Monday.
It was Monday, and I said I was sorry they were working. And oh, by the way, this trash can's been full for a week, and it's really overflowing. And please go empty it, or tell the person that normally empties the trash to empty it. And then they said the day off and help him out and get this one. And I said, well, that's great. I don't really care who empties it, but somebody needs to empty it. And so now I'm upset. Because they didn't come down here that day or get him to come down here that day. And it's now Wednesday. Yeah. I'm headed back into Raleigh a little early. I am stopping by our friend David's house with the Bluebird box we picked up for him the other day. So he can get it installed. It may not be too late for the first brood this year. It won't be too late for broods 2 and 3. Just guess it depends on nesting availability and interested bluebirds. Anyway, he's not too far from Johnny's school, so it makes sense to combine my trip back downtown to pick up Johnny with stopping by at his house. Guess I better slow up. They moved that 35-mile-an-hour sign back a ways, and I am not in autopilot right now. Wow, 74. It actually felt warm when I walked outside from being inside, where, you know, our family room is pretty dark during the daytime. I am trying to take my foot off the accelerator a bit. Stop chiming me. Of course, I'm the one that has it set to chime, as annoying as it may be. Probably pretty effective though, since I've managed to quote-unquote fly under the radar. There was a little street sign over here on Highway 55, one of those flashing, you know, road alert signs. It says, "Keep our roadways safe, increase following distance." I certainly think some people need that message, and I just laugh that they think that would actually influence any number of the drivers that really want to follow too closely. Nice try though, guys. Nice try. Yeah, the Beltline construction over here, it's not my favorite place to drive in Raleigh. Wow. Okay, so the Bluebird box has been dropped off, and I thought you guys would enjoy seeing another Tesla owner with a Lego collection. In this case, very Star Wars and space themed. We're waiting for SpaceX kits, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And new masks coming out in March. You'll recognize a few of these from my house. I don't currently have the ISS out, but very impressive, and not to be left out, I will pan over to the Eiffel Tower here in a minute. Wow, just wow. So you got this like opening weekend, right?
Black
like
Friday.
the day that it came out, and had it built
by Sunday.
Yeah, it was kind of a competition on the internet about how fast people were building it, and I know that the light, there you go, you can see it. It has really impressive detail and is very such a cool build. Yep, awesome. Oh, and of course the Saturn V. Yeah, these UCS models are very impressive in size. So the Mandalorian ship, the AT-AT. What's this one called?
Yeah. Starfighter.
Starfighter.
Or Star Destroyer.
Yeah, and of course the Millennium Falcon. I keep telling David he needs a Death Star, but they don't have one out right now, and you weren't building when they had the last one out, right?
No.
Yeah. Way cool. Thanks for sharing. David has a new TV, so the Titanic is a little hid, but will you put that together in like 3 or 4 days too?
Yep.
Yeah, that's just impressive, and
once I get going on a build, I can't stop.
Right. So when I said the other day that I had sore fingers, I knew there was at least one person watching that knew what I meant. That is very cool also. Well, I had a nice visit with David and his dog Naomi. Enjoyed seeing the Legos, and when we were saying goodbye and I was getting in Ruby, we saw Bluebird in his backyard. So yeah, that was really cool. I think there's a great chance. Well, he had said he had seen them, and then, you know, we saw one when we were standing around Ruby, and I look forward to hearing that there's a nest in the box. This is the back side of St. Augustine's, which I've been over here to the football field before a few times for pickups and drop-off and special events. But I am working my way around to the front side of the school, which is the only place you can enter. And Ruby took me on some roads I can say that I have not been on before to get between David's house and the school. Wasn't very far to go, but it was some roads I had not traveled before. Here's St. Agnes coming in from the backside. Here is a brand new white Y paper tag. I was lonely yesterday at Whole Foods. I saw 3 3s and an X, but no white Y yesterday. I was like, where's the white Y? Don's pulling some repair and maintenance work on the pressure washer. The tank that holds the suds, something was up with it. So I suspect that's what he's working on. And we're home. You look like a guy that might be getting ready to power wash the house.
Might be.
I remember you telling me something wasn't quite right with it.
Yeah.
It's been provided 5 years of service now. What's not quite right with it?
Yeah, the pressure washer works just fine.
Right.
Okay. But the hose, the soap, I had put O&R in here, and I don't know, it never worked. And so I've taken it apart and I cleaned there's a little bitty valve, which I don't have any idea what I've done with. I'll have to find it. It has a little spring and a little ball, BB, small little bearing, ball, and I've cleaned that out and carefully, and I've ungunked everything, so I'm putting it back together now.
And maybe the soap dispenser will be good.
Maybe the soap dispenser works, or lack of a better way to say, if it doesn't work, I've done all I can do.
Right, you've at least tried to.
At least tried, yes.
Yeah, well, Don's been bucket washing Ruby and Jules lately, not spraying this soap from the machine, right?
Right, exactly.
And you also have the foam cannon, so you had options. But don't do what this one guy did this week and put your foam cannon, not Don, but on Facebook we saw this poor Model X owner. Yeah. He put the foam cannon on his power washer and he didn't get it tight enough and it flew off into the windshield, the rear glass of the X, and he broke it bad. Yeah, and people were not nice to him on Facebook. Yeah. I guess, you know, I feel empathy for people. Any one of us can have a mistake that costs us money. Yeah. And, yeah, it was kind of sad.
I left my glasses in the house.
Guess you gotta go find that and the little ball thing.
A little bit more with
the
compressor. I need my glasses. So it's time for a little afternoon snack.
Yeah, a little snack, huh?
And maybe a little nap, and then maybe I'll do
Jules.
Pressure wash Jules.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't.
You enjoy them, Donnie.
Yeah, I'm playing it. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank
you for making them.
Don fixed my boo-boo.
Yeah.
I accidentally put one of my spoons in the food processor, but Don got it. You can't tell the handle was bent. It's perfect. Don and I had us a nice nap. Watching Tesla YouTubes. We'll back up on anything we missed. I'm going to work on my build a little bit. I'm on step 32 and I just walked through up to step 64 and I think I'm good to go. I'm having me another vanilla flavored coffee. So the Keurig's busy over there making noise. Anyway, I had some parts come today and brown is up next on the build. So that's good. I have some brown, but one of the things this has is these black snake looking parts that are like a scroll thing. Anyway, I'm gonna probably work on it for an hour. It's 5:15, so I got an hour before I gotta cook. No taekwondo tonight. I ordered these vanilla cups off of Amazon, and it's organic coffee and vanilla, like real vanilla, small batch stuff. And I have to say, it makes the whole kitchen smell like a dream. I mean, it's great. It smells wonderful, and it tastes good too. Hey, Donnie. Jules is getting some much needed TLC. We had been sacrificing her to keep Ruby clean, but now that Don had him a nap and had him some deviled eggs, he felt like getting Jules looking better. I got all excited because Don got out the foam cannon. Watching the car get all sudsed up is exciting.
It just has to be washed off now.
Smells good too. Almost like bubble gum. I was gonna say almost like strawberries.
Bubble gum, strawberry bubble gum.
So I'm up to step 68. It's time to put the steps in over here, although I need to find a few more containers and barrels. Be helpful before I inserted them, and also I'm getting to the point where it would be hard to put in a couple of the tiles I'm missing. So it's time to cook. I'm at a good place to stop for the night. I need to hunt the pair of stairs and see if I have any more barrels and containers. So while my onions are sauteing, I'll do that. But that's it for tonight. Wow, look at that clean Tesla.
Right. I forgot to wear my shirt.
It's smelling really good in the house. Can you smell the onions out here? Sauteed onions, teriyaki shish kebabs.
That sounds great.
Yep, so you're fixing to be rewarded for your hard work.
Yeah, well, I'm fixing to roll her in. I'm just I'm hitting the door jambs one more time. I've already wiped the rims off. I haven't put any of the tire black.
Right, next day.
Next day.
Yeah, Don does all of that after it dries really, really good.
Yeah, it does better if that do it dry.
Well, I'm sure Jules appreciates the bath.
Well, I didn't know she was so dirty.
Well, I said, which you probably couldn't hear earlier in one of the clips, that we have been sacrificing her to keep Ruby clean.
That's right.
So,
Little
yeah.
sister had to put in the time.
That's right.